Hey guys, this is Divyansh and welcome to the United Talk. Manchester United for the first time in Premier League history have done a league double over Chelsea. We defeated them at home 4-0 in the first game of the season. Now we've defeated them at Stamford Bridge by 2-0. This match that we won, we were incredibly lucky to win this game simply because the amount of controversies that this game had. And if you ask me, and let's jump into the controversies right away, because if you ask me, Harry Maguire should have been sent off and the game could have changed from there drastically. And if you look at Harry Maguire's challenge, Batshuayi falls him, he falls over outside the pitch. Batshuayi is about to fall over on him, but Harry Maguire just kicks him out, just kicks at him, and the kick is directly aimed at his crotch, at his nuts. And I mean, it's funny to see, but if you're a Chelsea fan, you are 100% right to go on and rant about it and rant about VAR, because Son's foul against Rudiger was a red card offence, was deemed as a red card offence, and he got a 3-match ban because of that. Harry Maguire didn't even get a yellow card in the game, and Harry Maguire's challenge was actually worse than Son's challenge. And the referee was the same essentially on the pitch. It was Anthony Taylor that match and this match. So I mean, there's a problem with VAR, but we were actually on the lucky side of it. We enjoyed the game because of VAR, and VAR ruled the decisions in our favour. If you look at the 2 goals that Chelsea scored, the Giroud goal, now that's offside, right? And there's no argument about it. But again, I think Manchester United is incredibly lucky that Giroud is offside by a toenail, because that was the margin. A toenail was the margin, and it could have been easily not offside, and that goal could have stood. But again, we were lucky. And then you talk about Zuma goal, and now Zuma goal was disallowed because Azpilicueta was deemed to push Brandon Williams. And now the Chelsea fans and the Chelsea hierarchy have come out and said that there was a push from Fred into Azpilicueta, and then which led Azpilicueta to then push Brandon Williams. The goal should have stood. And a lot of pundits also have come out and said that yes, that's the case. Fred actually pushed Azpilicueta first, but I personally don't agree to this. Now, I might be on the right side of the scoreline, and that's why I'm saying this, but I feel that while Fred did have a nudge at Azpilicueta, it was not enough for him to either go down or go with force into Brandon Williams. If Brandon Williams was not there in that position and Azpilicueta would have gone down, he wouldn't have gotten a penalty, because Fred did not push him. Fred gave him a nudge, and nudges are okay, especially in the English game. Nudges are fine. What Azpilicueta did to Brandon Williams, however, was a push. I mean, to be honest with you, it was not even a push, it was more of a shove. So for me, it was an obvious error. It was a foul. The goal shouldn't have stood, and it did not. But I understand why the Chelsea fans could come out and complain about this, and they are complaining about it. So any other VAR could have looked at this at it in a different way, but we were lucky. We were incredibly lucky. If you look at the game from the beginning itself, I think both teams were set up to not concede because of the high stakes involved in this game, the Champions League place and whatnot. I think both teams were set up to not concede, and you could see that. I mean, in the first half itself. And I don't want to talk about Chelsea and how they missed their chances, because I think Batshuayi should score in the first half. But if you look at United itself, and there was not a clear-cut opportunity that we had till the time we scored a goal. And first of all, we can't play from the back. We cannot play from the back, and that's what we keep doing in every game. We try to play from the back. Harry Maguire and the other defender, whether it's Lindelof, whether it's Bailly, they stand next to the goalkeeper, and then they look to pass either into Matic or Fred or to the wing-backs. And that creates a problem, because then by that time the opposition has covered these 3-4 places, and now they're trying to put on the press. So we are not able to play from the back properly, and it's been happening since months now, and there's no solution to it, and I don't see us improving in that department at all. And in this game, once Matic had the ball, Bailly had the ball, Maguire had the ball, Fred had the ball, the only out ball at that time was either Martial or James, or it was the wing backs, which was Wan Bissaka and Brandon Williams. Now, Martial in the first half, apart from the goal, he did not have a good game. For me, I was thinking throughout the game, throughout the first half, as a Manchester United centre forward, Martial, you got to do more. You got to do more simply because when you have the ball in your feet, you have to hold the ball better. You have to do more. You have to be stronger. You have to be a nuisance for the defenders. And although he was that for Christensen and then the play that led to the goal, Other than that, there was nothing else from Martial in the first half. And that's the problem, because when Martial was not able to hold the ball, the out ball there was then only to either Brendan Williams or to Aaron Wan Bissaka. And again, that was a problem, because from there you only go sideways, you don't go forward from there. That was a problem. However, there's a difference between Anthony Martial and Jesse Lingard, and there's a reason why we've been ranting about Jesse Lingard, is because that moment of magic from Anthony Martial, that moment of magic from Aaron Wan Bissaka was enough to get us into the lead. And that's why we come out and say again and again, time and time again, you need quality players to play alongside quality players. You need, I mean, if that was Ashley Young, I don't know whether that ball would have been as great a ball as it was to Anthony Martial. And if it was Jesse Lingard or Andres Pereira in Martial's position, I can guarantee you that wouldn't have been a goal. They wouldn't even have gotten their head to this ball. So that's the difference between quality and quality players. Good players, they can play like shit throughout the game, and then one moment of magic they can turn the game around on their heads. So that's what happened. First half we go into the lead, and then some stats are popping up on the screen which say that 87 games since United lost the last game where they had a lead at the half time. It was actually around in 2014, I think it was Leicester, the 5-3 game, infamous 5-3 game against Leicester. And since then, whenever we've gone with a lead at half time, we have not lost that game. 87 games, that's some stat, And I was actually feeling pretty confident about it, because I thought, yes, now the game is into our hands, because Chelsea have to come back and attack us. We can sit and then hit them on the counter attack. However, I think the first 15 minutes of the second half, I thought we were a little nervy. We could have done better. We were a little bit nervy, but we were solid at the back. Throughout the game, we were solid at the back. And then the second goal came. And again, the second goal, just like the first goal, came out of nowhere. And again, my point, what shithousery was it that Ashley Young was delivering that kind of crosses, that kind of corners into the box? He was just hanging the ball up in the air for someone to go and attack. It's like you tell the dog, go fetch. I mean, you just shove the stick up in the air, and you tell the dog to just jump up in the air and grab that stick. That was what Ashley Young was doing when he was taking corners. The difference between Ashley Young and Bruno Fernandes is huge, and you could see that in the game. The corner was a very good corner, and it was a very good header by Harry Maguire. So I think 2 quality goals, 2 quality headers, 4 players who came up with a moment of magic. That's what actually turned the game on its head on the night. But my problem with this game towards the end was, why did Odion Ighalo not come in till the 90th minute? I mean, Odion Ighalo should have been in the match at the 75th or the 80th minute, because that time we were leading 2-0. They were trying to attack us. Like I said before, there was no out ball for our defenders or our midfielders. Odion Ighalo is one person. I mean, you've hired this guy, you've got this guy on loan simply because he has the potential, he has the capability to hold the ball up well. While Martial is playing, James is playing. Get Ighalo in, ask him to hold the ball, and then let Martial and James be fed off Odion Ighalo. I thought that's going to happen. That did not happen. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as usual, did not do any substitutions till the 80th minute, and the second one came in the 90th minute, which I frankly don't understand. I also don't understand is, I mean, I do understand, but what I actually want moving forward is also the fact that if we can play Diego Dalot on the right hand side as a right wing instead of Daniel James, I want to see Diego Dalot play in that position for once for 90 minutes, because I feel that while Daniel James has been found out and he has restrictions over what he can do throughout 90 minutes, I think Diego Dalot will give you something extra, something different in that position. His crosses are much better. I think he is fast. He's as fast as Daniel James approximately, and he gives you that something different. And when Bissaka is attacking, he is an able deputy for Aaron and Bissaka at the right back position. So I think that ticks all the boxes, especially till the time we don't get a right winger in the summer. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should be trying Daniel James Diego Dalot on the right hand side. Apart from that, I think Eric Bailly played really well, and I was surprised to see Bailly. But I mean, Lindelof was ill. But if you look at Bailly's performance, and that guy he cracks me up all the time. He's a joker, he's an entertainer. You never know what you're going to get with Eric Bailly. One moment, he can have a match-saving tackle, and the next moment, he can go and do some shithousery again. He can try an overhead kick, a bicycle kick, or something like that, and get himself injured and off the pitch. And that's what happened in today's game. I mean, there was a moment when it was nervy for Eric Bailly, but then his challenge, that tackle against Kovacic, or stopping Kovacic to score that goal. If Lindelof was on the pitch, Kovacic would have scored. Eric Bailly just threw himself in front of Kovacic and saved. That was a goal-saving tackle. It was a goal-worthy tackle, and that's what Eric Bailly gets you. I think with some kind of a training, some kind of a education to Eric Bailly, I think he can do much better, and he can be a better defender moving forward, and he can be a better defender than Victor Lindelof to begin with. I think overall the entire team did play well. Fred continues to impress me. Nemanja Matic, I mean, it wasn't the performance, the kind of performance that will catch your eye, but Nemanja Matic, he did the dirty side of the work, the dirty side of the game really well, and it was more like the Matic of old, when he covered the grass, when he stopped the moves building up, and he actually did play well. So it was a team effort, but I think the man of the match still goes to VAR, because Harry Maguire should have been sent off, and there's no doubt about it. So for me, VAR is my man of the match. Incredibly lucky, but also a deserved win for Manchester United. Next up is the Europa League. We do hope to win that game. Then Watford, we do hope to win that game as well. But as you know, with Man United, you never know what's coming. So I just hope that Odion Ighalo starts scoring goals. And by the way, Ighalo should have scored that goal. He should have taken that chance in the 92nd minute. Wow, what an entrance that would have been. But moving forward, I'm actually excited because McTominay is closer to coming back. Paul Pogba, I'm hoping he just comes back in February. Axel Tuanzebe. So there are players coming back, and we are looking good. Bruno Fernandes is looking good. Do let me know what did you think of the game. Who was your man of the match? Because I know everybody played well for Manchester United, but VAR was amazing for us. It just worked in our favor tonight. So do let me know what do you think of the game. Please don't forget to share your comments in the comment section below. Your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already. Please don't forget to like the video. And until the next time, take care.